My wife announced, "Your terminal diagnosis means I get everything. I already called lawyers." I said, "About that?" The diagnosis was fake. A test from my doctor friend. When I served her with divorce papers for attempted financial exploitation, she lost everything, including her inheritance. I, 38 male, had been feeling off about my marriage to Lydia, 35, for months. Little things. She'd become obsessed with our life insurance policies, kept asking about my 401k beneficiaries, and suddenly started being super sweet after years of barely tolerating me. When her grandmother passed and left her 400k, she didn't tell me for 3 weeks. I found out from her cousin at a barbecue. My friend Garrett is an oncologist. We've been tight since college. Over beers one night, I mentioned Lydia's weird behavior. He made a dark joke. "Want to find out if she really loves you? I could accidentally leave some test results lying around." I thought he was kidding. He wasn't. Look, I've seen spouses abandon dying patients, but I've also seen others show their true colors when money's involved. Completely off the record, hypothetically, if some paperwork happened to be visible during her next visit. My annual physical was coming up. Lydia always insisted on coming to my appointments because she cared about my health. Garrett was my doctor. The pieces lined up. The plan was simple: fake blood work results showing late-stage pancreatic cancer. 6 months to live, tops. Left where she'd definitely see them while I was getting dressed after the exam. I know it sounds insane, but I had to know. The appointment was last Tuesday. Garrett did his thing. Real exam, real blood work. I'm healthy as hell, Batabu. But the papers on his desk? Pure fiction. Medical terms, grim prognosis, the works. Lydia saw them while I was putting my shirt back on. I watched her photograph them with her phone. She said nothing. In the car, she was silent. At home, she made my favorite dinner. I thought maybe I'd been wrong. Maybe she was processing, planning how to support me. Then Thursday happened. I came home from work to find Lydia at the dining table with printed documents everywhere. She had this manic energy, almost gleeful. "We need to talk about your diagnosis." I played along. "Garrett hasn't even called me yet. How do you—" "I saw the papers. Pancreatic cancer. Stage 4. You're dying." "Lydia, I've already called 3 lawyers. We need to get everything transferred to my name now. The house, the investments, everything. If you die without proper documentation, it becomes a nightmare for me. Not us. Not how are you feeling, just me. I also called your life insurance. Did you know if you die within 2 years of increasing coverage, they investigate? We need to be careful. But your current policy is 500k, and since you've had it for 5 years, we're good." She slid a paper across the table. "This gives me full power of attorney. Sign it." "Lydia, I just found out I'm dying, and you're being practical. Someone has to be. You're too emotional to handle this properly. Oh, and I told your brother you don't want visitors. Too stressful." "You told Ethan I'm dying?" "No, just that you're sick and need space. We can tell him after things are settled." "After I'm dead, you mean?" She actually rolled her eyes. "Don't be dramatic. This is happening whether you accept it or not. At least I'm here taking care of things." That's when I said it. "About that diagnosis. What about it?" "It's fake." Update 1. The silence after I told her was deafening. She laughed nervously, then got angry, then tried to flip it. "You tested me? What kind of psychopath tests their wife?" "The kind whose wife photographs medical documents and calls lawyers before even asking how I'm feeling. I was trying to protect you. You told me not to see my brother. You had power of attorney papers ready in 48 hours. You were excited, Lydia. I watched you smile while talking about my life insurance." She threw a wine glass at the wall. 5 years. 5 years of my life wasted on you. Mask fully off now. "So leave," I said. "Oh, I'm leaving, but you're gonna pay for this humiliation. I want a divorce, and I want everything." "Good luck with that." She moved to her sister Celia's place that night. By morning, I was getting texts from her family calling me a monster, a manipulator, an abuser. She'd told everyone I faked cancer to torture her. Her mom, Joyce, called. "How could you do something so cruel? Ask your daughter why her first response to my terminal diagnosis was to call lawyers, not doctors." She was planning for the future. She was planning for her future, one where I conveniently died quick and left her everything. Joyce hung up. But then Lydia made a crucial mistake. She posted on Facebook, Devastating to discover the man you married is a pathological liar who would fake cancer for attention. Some people are truly sick, not medically, already consulting lawyers about emotional damage. My lawyer friend, not Garrett, an actual lawyer named Ramon, saw it and called me immediately. She just admitted in writing that you don't have cancer. Screenshot everything. The comments were interesting. Wait, he faked having cancer? Who does that? Why would someone fake cancer to their wife? There's more to this story. One of my coworkers commented, "Didn't you say last month your wife was asking about his life insurance?" Lydia deleted the post, but screenshots were already circulating. Update 2. Lydia hired Miranda Fitzgerald, allegedly the shark of divorce lawyers. First meeting was yesterday. I hired my own lawyer, Ramon's partner Curtis, who specializes in financial exploitation cases. Here's where Lydia screwed herself. She'd been so confident I was dying that she'd already quit her job. Told her boss she needed to care for her dying husband. Except now everyone knew I wasn't dying, so she just looked like a liar who quit for no reason. Her lawyer tried to argue I'd caused severe emotional distress with my deception. Curtis countered, "My client discovered his wife was planning to financially exploit him during a medical crisis. Her immediate response to his supposed terminal diagnosis was to secure assets, not provide support. We have evidence of attempted financial elder abuse." "He's not elderly or sick," Miranda snapped, but she believed he was terminally ill and immediately moved to seize control of his assets. That's attempted exploitation of a vulnerable person. The fact that he wasn't actually vulnerable doesn't change her intent. Then Curtis dropped the bomb. "We're also filing for alimony. Mrs. Lydia just inherited $400K from her grandmother. Meanwhile, my client had to take time off work to deal with the emotional trauma of discovering his wife saw him as a payday rather than a partner." "That's ridiculous," Lydia shrieked. "You quit your job," Curtis said calmly. "My client is the only income earner. Under state law, he's entitled to support." The way Lydia's face went from red to purple to white was something to behold. But the meeting got better. Curtis pulled out a folder. "We've also subpoenaed your client's search history. Would you like me to read it aloud?" Miranda grabbed the papers. Her face went pale. Turns out the day Lydia saw those fake results, she'd Googled, "How long does stage 4 pancreatic cancer take? Can life insurance investigate after death? How to transfer house title from dying spouse? Average life expectancy pancreatic cancer stage. Morphine overdose signs hospice." That last one made even her lawyer look disgusted. Update 3. Discovery phase has been wild. Lydia's financial records showed she'd been moving money for months, small amounts from our joint checking, which we used for bills, into an account I didn't know existed. About 15K total over the past year. But here's the kicker. She'd also taken out a life insurance policy on ME without my knowledge. $1 million, purchased 8 months ago. Forged my signature. Curtis was practically giddy. This is insurance fraud. Criminal charges level fraud. The policy company launched an investigation. Turns out you can't just take out massive life insurance on someone without their knowledge and consent. Who knew? Meanwhile, Lydia was spiraling on social media. Her sister Celia was posting on her behalf. The emotional torture Lydia endured from her sociopathic ex is unimaginable. Faking terminal illness to test someone is abuse. My brother Ethan responded. He tested whether she loved him or his money. She failed, spectacularly. Celia, she was trying to be practical during a crisis. Ethan, she Googled morphine overdose signs. That's not practical, that's planning murder. Celia deleted her posts. Then Lydia's mom Joyce tried to negotiate directly with me. Showed up at my work with coffee and tears. "Please, just give her something from the divorce. She's my baby girl." "Your baby girl tried to steal my house while she thought I was dying." She was scared. People don't think clearly when. Joyce, she took out $1 million life insurance policy on me without my knowledge. She was disappointed I wasn't actually dying. Joyce's mouth opened and closed like a fish. That's not. She wouldn't. The insurance company has the forged documents. She's probably going to be charged with fraud. Joyce left without another word. Update 4. The insurance fraud investigation concluded. Lydia was arrested last Tuesday. The mugshot was rough. Orange isn't her color. She was released on bail. Joyce put up her house as collateral. but the damage was done. The arrest was public record. Her former employer saw it and publicly stated they stand by their decision to accept her resignation. Translation: you're never working here again. The divorce negotiations got interesting. With criminal charges pending, Lydia's position was weak. Curtis went for the throat. Given Mrs. Lydia's attempt to defraud my client through false insurance policies, her documented plan to exploit his supposed terminal illness, and her current unemployment status versus my client's trauma-induced leave from work, were seeking. The house, mine before marriage, but she wanted half its value. Alimony for 2 years at $3,000 per month. All marital debt assigned to her, about $12,000 in credit cards she ran up. My legal fees, currently at $18,000. Her lawyer laughed. That's insane. She inherited $400,000, yes, but between bail, legal fees, and living expenses. Then she better settle quickly before that money's gone, Curtis said. Lydia exploded. I'm not giving him my inheritance. Then we go to trial, Curtis shrugged, where a jury will hear how you Googled morphine overdoses while believing your husband was dying. Update 5: trial was set, but Lydia's criminal case was complicating everything. Her criminal lawyer, separate from divorce lawyer, double the fees, told her pleading guilty to insurance fraud would tank her divorce case, but fighting the fraud charges would cost another $50,000 minimum. Her inheritance was evaporating. Criminal lawyer retainer, $30,000. Divorce lawyer, $25,000. Bail bond fees, $5,000. Living expenses, her sister started charging rent, $2,000 a month. She tried representing herself in divorce court to save money. Big mistake. Judge asked her directly, "Ma'am, did you take out a life insurance policy on your husband without his knowledge?" The Fifth Amendment. This isn't criminal court. I'm asking a yes or no question. It was for our future. Yes or no? Yes, but... And did you research how to transfer assets from a dying spouse? He wasn't actually dying. But you believed he was? Yes. The judge looked at her over his glasses. So you believed your husband was terminally ill, and your response was to secure his assets and research his life expectancy. I was being practical. The judge awarded me the house, fully mine, alimony, $2,500 a month for 3 years, all marital debt assigned to her, 75% of my legal fees. Lydia screamed, "He lied about having cancer." Judge, and you lied on insurance documents. His lie exposed your character. Your lie was fraud. Big difference. Update 6. Lydia's criminal trial just ended. She pled no contest to insurance fraud to avoid jail time. Got 2 years probation, 200 hours community service, and a $10,000 fine. But here's where her inheritance went. Criminal lawyers, final bill, $45,000. Divorce lawyers, $40,000. She went through 3. My alimony, $7,500 so far. My legal fees, court-ordered, $13,000. Criminal fine, $10,000. Bail bond fees and court costs, $8,000. Total, $123,500. She's also been paying her sister Celia rent, living expenses, and had to buy a car since the Lexus was mine. Another $15,000 gone. From a $400,000 inheritance, she has maybe $250,000 left. But wait, the IRS entered the chat. Turns out, taking money from marital accounts and hiding it, that needs to be reported. She owes back taxes plus penalties. Another $20,000. Plus, I'm getting $25,500 a month for 3 more years. That's $87,500 total. She'll have about $140,000 left when this is over. Still sounds like a lot? Not when you're 35, unemployable in your field. Financial services don't hire people with fraud convictions, and have no retirement savings because you expected to inherit your husband's. Update 7. Plot twist nobody saw coming. Lydia's grandmother's estate is being contested. Turns out, Grandma's other children, Lydia's aunts and uncles, were suspicious about the will leaving everything to Lydia. They hired a forensic accountant who discovered Lydia had been helping Grandma with her finances for the last 2 years. By helping, I mean moving money around and getting Grandma to sign things. Sound familiar? The estate lawyer called me as a witness since I was still technically married to Lydia when this was happening. I testified honestly. I had no knowledge of her grandmother's finances, but I provided evidence of Lydia's pattern of financial manipulation. The judge froze the remaining inheritance pending investigation. Lydia called me from a blocked number. "You destroyed my life. I have nothing." You have what you always had, yourself. That's what you valued most anyway. I'm going to be homeless. Celia's kicking me out. Maybe Garrett knows a good oncologist who needs a roommate. This isn't funny. I could go to jail if they prove I manipulated Grandma. You mean like you tried to manipulate me? I was trying to secure our future. No, you were trying to secure your future. One where I conveniently died and left you everything. How'd that work out? She hung up sobbing. Final update. It's been 6 months since that doctor's appointment. Here's where everyone stands. Lydia, living in a studio apartment, working as a cashier at a grocery store, only place that would hire her with a fraud conviction. The investigation into her grandmother's estate found financial elder abuse. She had to return $200K to the estate to avoid prosecution. After paying back the estate, taxes, fines, lawyers, and my alimony, she's broke. Negative broke. Actually, she owes her lawyer another $20K. Her social media is gone. Her family barely speaks to her. Celia posted last week about cutting toxic people out, even family, with a pointed comment about thieves and liars. Me, still in my house, back at work full-time. The alimony helps with the therapy I needed after discovering the person I married saw me as a walking life insurance policy. Dating isn't on my radar yet, but I joined a bowling league. My team name, Terminal Velocity. Garrett thinks it's hilarious. The marriage. Officially dissolved. The judge's final words were memorable. Ma'am, marriage is about in sickness and in health, not ooh, sickness, time to cash in. Divorce granted. The inheritance. The aunts and uncles split the $200K Lydia had to return. They sent me a thank you card for testifying. Weird, but appreciated. The life lesson. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. When Lydia saw those fake cancer papers, she showed me exactly who she was. Someone who saw my death as a payday. The fake diagnosis didn't create her greed. It revealed it. People keep asking if I feel guilty about the test. Nope. That test saved me from spending my life with someone who was literally Googling how long I'd take to die. It cost her everything. But that's what happens when you bet against someone's life. Sometimes you lose the gamble. To anyone reading this, if your partner gets more excited about your life insurance than your life, run. Don't wait for them to show their hand. The house always wins when you're playing with someone who sees you as chips to cash in. Oh, and Lydia, if you're reading this from your studio apartment during your break at the grocery store, next time someone tells you they're dying, maybe try asking, how are you feeling? Instead of, how much am I getting? Just a thought. Edit. Edit. To the people saying the test was unethical? Maybe. But you know what's more unethical? Forging someone's signature on $1 million life insurance policy and Googling morphine overdoses. Just saying. Edit 2. Garrett is still my doctor. No, he didn't break any laws. The papers were never official medical documents, just props for a test. No different than those fake lottery tickets people use for pranks, except this prank revealed attempted murder planning. Edit 3. For those asking, yes, this is legal to share. Court records are public. Lydia's convictions are public. The only thing I can't share are the actual forged insurance documents. But trust me, you're not missing much. Just her terrible attempt at my signature.